Lament!
Let's look at how Ichigo got said Soul Reaper powers. Now, from a very young age, Ichigo could see spirits. Now, no age exactly as to when this started, but Ichigo has said that he has been able to see and communicate with them for as long as he can remember. Now, at this young age, Ichigo did struggle to tell the difference between the living and the dead that he was seeing. One such occasion led to the tragedy of his mother's passing. One day on the way home, June 17th being the date of this fateful day, Ichigo, only aged 9 at the time, was with his mother walking along the riverbank on their way home. The weather was awful as the rain poured heavily. It was here that Ichigo saw a girl standing by the river. The girl looked as if she was about to jump in, so Ichigo ran out to try and save this girl. Unfortunately, said girl was not alive and technically not even dead for that matter, but the law of the hollow Grand Fissure. His mother Masaki tried her best to stop Ichigo, but he did not listen to her. His one and only priority was to protect. Ichigo, of course, failed to grab hold of the girl and fell unconscious. When he awoke, he saw the most tragic and life-changing thing, which was the body of his mother lying on top of him, covered in blood. This major event in Ichigo's life completely changed him and really began shaping him as the man he would become. So, back to his ability to see spirits. Many people would see Ichigo in the strangest of places, seemingly talking to himself, but he was in fact talking to the spirits of the deceased. People would speak about it, and the rumors were that Ichigo could see ghosts. Little did they know that this was, of course, true. However, when Totsuki questioned him on this, he straight out denied being able to see them. For Ichigo, he wanted to keep this to himself, especially as it was this ability to see the spirits of the dead that was an important part in the events that led to his mother Masaki's death. So this leads us to his first encounter with Rukia Kuchiki. When Ichigo first met her, she appeared in his bedroom and he thought that she was a burglar. Ichigo quickly realized, however, that he was the only one able to see this woman, so he simply accepted the fact that she was just another ghost. Of course, this was pretty standard practice for Ichigo at this point and was just another normal everyday thing. Rukia explained to Ichigo that she was a Soul Reaper and what a Soul Reaper was. But Ichigo refused to believe it and was rude to her in, typical Ichigo fashion, which led to Rukia binding him with Kido. It is, of course, at that moment that a hollow attacks the house, and we get to see another display of something that isn't necessarily a power, but something that Ichigo possesses that lends to his overall strength. That being his will. Ichigo's will, combined with his burning need to protect, allows him to overcome and defeat obstacles that any normal person cannot. It allows him to break barriers and push the boundaries of his own abilities at their current state at that time. This, of course, excels his growth and taps into that untouched potential that he, of course, has. And I mean, yeah, you can really argue that this is a classic shonen trait, but let us not forget that Ichigo is a protagonist of one of the big 3 shonen series, so you really can't argue with him having this as a part of his personality, or powers and abilities. Both. Now, this willpower and the need to protect kicks in here as he hears the screams of his younger sisters Karin and Yuzuru, both who are pleading for help. This fires Ichigo up, and his determination to get out there and save them allows him to break free of Rukia's Kido spell, and he rushes to stop the hollow. This was, of course, the first time Ichigo ever saw a hollow. Kinda, in this form anyway. But he was shocked and surprised by just how monstrous it looked. Nonetheless, he dove in to help save Yuzuru, who was being held captive. Rukia is also involved in the fight as a Soul Reaper naturally, however Ichigo acts recklessly, which again is another trait that is both a strength and weakness when it comes to Ichigo's overall power. In this case, it is a very strong weakness, as Rukia had to shield him with her own body, which leaves her badly injured. Now, in this most dire of situation, this is the first time Rukia sees the fiery determination in Ichigo's eyes to protect. Inspired by this, and in this terrible situation, Rukia offers to turn Ichigo into a Soul Reaper temporarily so that he can save them all from the foe at hand. She pierces his chest with her Zanpakuto, transferring half of her own power to him, which allows Ichigo to take on the form of a Soul Reaper and make short work of the Hollow. Now, this may be jumping way into the future of the series here, but there are definitely moments sprinkled in the early stages of the story and in the Soul Society that are a nod or foreshadowing to Ichigo's powers, abilities, and I guess identity for that matter that we would have 100% overlooked or ignored when we first saw or read the series. The first being this instance right here, where Rukia gives Ichigo half of her powers. So, Ichigo actually has the ability to absorb Reishi, which is an ability that the Quincy possess. Quincy's gain their power by absorbing the Reishi around them. Ichigo's mother was a Quincy herself, thus Ichigo himself is half Quincy, meaning that he has his own set of Quincy powers, including this one right here.